a mission. You gotta keep the laws before you go and start fishing. It's more than just speaking God's words on the curb. Before you can lead, you gotta learn how to serve. You wanna be a soldier, soldier. He say they wanna be a soldier, soldier. Well, tell them how to do it. First get your mind right, then get your grind right. Understand now and stop depending on you.
All right, read that and then show some video.
This is RT News. South Africa mayhem. 5 unbelievable clips of violence and looting as death toll rises to at least 45. Here are just 5 clips of South Africa. Worst violence since apartheid.
That's what was that? Dothan, Alabama.
Dothan right
Let's
there.
give it up for Dothan, Alabama.
Give it up, Alabama.
All praises. Hey, real quick. So it says here are just 5 clips of South Africa's worst violence since apartheid. Give me the first clip real quick, because it says Indian and white shop owners. This is South Africa. It says Indian and white shop owners open fire. Is that the one? Nah, that ain't the video I want. I want the one where they're literally lined up just popping shots. Yeah. Show me that one.
Amen.
Yes. If you can't find it, go back to the Telegram and load it. I need that video. Y'all got to see this, man. In the meantime, do me a favor. While they pull that up, let's touch on that. Apartheid going into, they're still living, this is the after effects of apartheid. Give me Revelation 6 again. I'm going to show you something. Going into that apartheid. All right. Give me Revelation 6, and I want verse 4 and 5. Watch this.
The book of Revelation, chapter 6 and verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red.
That was red. That's your friendly neighborhood white man named Esau. Red and hairy. Read it again.
And there went out another horse that was red.
Come on.
And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth.
To take peace from the earth. They're the destroyers of the earth. All right, that's why there's so much chaos and destruction. All they do is go to different lands and colonize it, take all the natural resources and bring it to theirs and leave them as a third world country. That's what they do. Read.
And that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword.
Yes, there was given unto him a great sword. Read.
And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse.
Read that again.
And lo, a black horse. And he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand.
Come on.
And I heard a voice in the midst of the fourth beast say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see thou, hurt not the oil and the wine.
Right, so this is going into what they sucked them dry of natural resources to the point where they were had a famine. Now watch this, read on.
Verse 7. And when he had opened the 4th seal, I heard the voice of the 4th beast say, come and see.
Now this black horse right here in verse 5, that's going into the dark nations. All right, so we're leading up into the apartheid, all right? So the black nations is the black horse. Do me a favor, read 7 and 8, and give me the clip, please. I'm getting anxious. Read 7 and 8. Come on.
The book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 7. And when he had opened the 4th seal, I heard the voice of the 4th beast say, come and see. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse. And his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him.
Watch this.
And power was given unto them over the 4th part of the earth.
Right. Power was given unto them over the 4th part of the earth. All right. That is going into the nations, the dark nations. They was given power over them. Now watch this. You got white people and Indians literally doing gun range on the South Africans right here. Play the clip, man. This is wild, bro. This is not BB guns. This ain't paintball. These are real guns, bro.
And you see them getting hit back there. They're getting hit.
Right there. Stop.
It's one thing to defend your store. Hey, I think at this point, that's all out war, bro. That ain't defending your store at that point, bro. Play on, bro.
Okay, let's go.
Bro, they're hunting. They're hunting us. That's what they're doing.
So one group got sticks and rocks, and the other one's got actual shotguns and bullets.
Because you think, why is the whites and Indians in South Africa in the first place? Because they was given power.
Right, yes, sir.
They was given power. This is what's going on in the earth today.
We're no time to play here.
See this?
We're gonna do what we have to do.
You heard that? He said, "Do what we have to do." They trying to put us to death over there. Give me 2nd Ezra 5. Give me 2nd Ezra 5 real quick. 2nd Ezra 5 and verse 8.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 5 and verse 8.
Come on.
There shall be a confusion also in many places. And the fire shall be oft sent out again.
Right, that fire going into judgment, man. In these last days, you're going to see the greatest atrocities known to man in these last days. Things are ramping up. Things are ramping up. Give me Romans 13:11 real quick. All right, we getting close to closing out. Hey, do me a favor. We should have another article about Iran. We always like to deal with Iran. We like to deal with who? China, Iran, Russia.
Yep.
All right. It should be one on Iran. Yeah. Before we close out, read this for me, please.
This is newsbreak.com. The Iranian commander urged escalation against U.S. forces at Iraq meeting, sources say.
Hey.
A senior Iranian Revolutionary Guard commander urged Iraqi Shiite military.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Try that again.
Revolutionary Guard commander urged Iraq Shiite militia to step up attacks on U.S. targets during a meeting in Baghdad last week. 3 militia sources and 2 Iraq security sources familiar with the gathering said American forces in Iraq and Syria were attacked several times following the visit by an Iranian delegation led by Revolutionary Guards. Intelligence Chief Hossein Tayyab, which came after deadly U.S. airstrikes against Iran-backed militias at the Syrian-Iraqi border on June 27th. While encouraging retaliation, the Iranians advised the Iraqis not to go too far to avoid a big escalation. 3 militia sources briefed on the meeting said.
Hey, do me a favor. Scroll to the top again because we pressed for time. Scroll to the top. So it says Iranian commander urged escalation against U.S. forces at Iraq meeting. So we got to touch that, man. As we see the prophecies unfold, we always have to go to the scriptures and show the people where we at in prophecy. Give me that in 2nd Ezra 15. All right. And I want verse 29.
2nd Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 29.
Come on.
Where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble.
Come on.
Also the Carmanians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and the great power shall they come.
Right,
and
so the Carmanians is going into the Iranians that we just read about in the article. So Carmania is Iran. Read on.
And join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians.
Read.
And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature.
Right, the dragons shall have the upper hand, remembering their nature. Their nature is that they're wild mad. All right, that's what they are when you read Genesis 16. Read on.
And if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together.
Doing what?
Conspiring together.
Doing what?
Conspiring together.
Remember in verse 29, it said the nations of the dragons of Arabia. Iran and Iraq, they are nations of Arabia. All right? Read the article again.
Newsbreak.com. Iranian commander urged escalation against U.S. forces at Iraq meeting.
Right, so you got the Iranians and the Iraqis coming together, remembering their nature. Finish that off in verse 31 for me again.
2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 31. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature. And if they shall turn themselves, conspire together in great power to persecute them.
Right, so that's what they're going to do. They're going to turn on the harlot known as Babylon the Great. But they're conspiring together, not as Iran, not as Iraq, but together. All of them are going to come together, thus says the Lord. All right, so we're about to close it down. Officers, y'all got anything before we close down? Any precepts?
Yeah, go to, yes, sir, I got something, Cal. Go to 2nd Ezra 16, start at 17.
Yes, sir.
Because what you're seeing right now, you're seeing pestilence, famine upon this earth. And the Most High God, He trying to wake up who? The so-called blacks and Spanish Native American to get right, to keep His commandments. Right. Let's read.
2nd Ezra, chapter 16 and verse 17. Woe is me, woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days?
It said, woe mean destruction. Who will deliver me from them days? This is the beginning of these days. Read.
The beginning of sorrow.
The what?
The beginning of sorrow.
What you see now, what we went through, all the videos and things like that, this is the beginning of sorrow. And the Bible speaks of it. Read.
The beginning of sorrows and great mournings.
And what?
And great mournings.
And great mournings. A lot of people have got put to death. Some people, kids, parents, got put to death during these sorrows. Read.
The beginning of famine and great death.
And what?
The beginning of famine and great death.
Beginning of famine and great death. That's what you're seeing before your eyes. Read.
The beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come?
Read on.
Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendments. But for all these things,
what's going to happen?
But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness.
You see that? It said all these things going to happen, and the people, we not still going to turn from our wickedness. Still going to break God's commandments. After all these things. That's why the Most High God giving us a grace period to get ourselves right, to come back to these laws and statutes and commandments for we can live again.
That's right.
We used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us a spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road. Purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are how men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.